Hi everyone, it's Kasia from Tarot Map. I thought I will do a live about this, but somehow I feel a bit anxious about lives. Haven't done them forever and just not feeling up for it. So I'm going to record it because I love this tag. So it's 10 decks only and it's about decks that are mass published. I was pretty good. I didn't overextend on tarot or oracle, but I have 10 tarot decks and 10 oracle decks. So as usual, a little bit a variation to the tag. So let's go first. And I think this is actually one of my favorite decks in 2022 in general. The 2020 decks of 2022 are coming, but it's the Tarot of the Mystical Moments. I just love this deck, and recently I was running a workshop here in my city, live with people, real people, first time after COVID, and this deck was about intuitive oracle reading, but I took this deck as an oracle, just for the images, and everybody loved it. Everybody was asking me, what this deck is it, can we buy it, and so on. So the Tarot of Mystical Moments, I really enjoy this deck. It fits, plays well with many other decks, and I just love the intuitive hits that I get by looking at the images. They're really beautiful. So this is one of my favorite decks in 2022 as well. So Tarot of the Mystical Moments by Catherine Wells Stein. No brainer, and that doesn't happen often with me. I'm always like, oh, I like this one, but I also like this one. So I think another brainer for anybody will be, I could definitely not live without this deck, okay? So the Margaret Peterson Tarot, it's also mass published. I actually got myself that newest edition with the purple borders, because I love the backs and I actually enjoy the frames of the art. I had a previous edition when I chopped the cards, but I always missed the frames. So I went through a bit in my tarot journey when I was trimming all of my decks, and now I'm on the other side and I actually appreciate the frames. I like the frame-free images as well, and decks that don't have borders, but some images I like in the borders, and Margaret Peterson Tarot is one of my favorite decks ever, so even beyond 2022. Okay, so we have this one, so number 2. Number 3, and that's another one which I actually really love and use often with certain people. Only this deck works really well, and these people know who they are. So it's the Beautiful Creatures Tarot. And I love Julie's deck as well, JBD Tarot, but this one because of the keywords and the booklet, and I just started using this deck and I really love it. And in general, all the big eyes and this Beautiful Creatures Tarot are definitely on the list. So this deck, I love the gilding, even though it's never perfect. I just don't care anymore. This side is perfect. Nearly. It rubs off very quickly, it's not perfect, but the images are amazing and it actually reads really well. So the Beautiful Creatures Tarot deck, number 3. And now number 4 is also a deck that I have been using a lot in 2022 as well, but specifically at the end of the year, and it's the Herbcrafters Tarot. I think the artwork for this deck is amazing. I wish actually that the book had a little bit more information about the herbs themselves, but I know we can't have everything. It has a bit of magical use of herbs, which is nice. But the artwork by Joanna Powell Colbert is beautiful. And it's another deck that suits itself so well for intuitive reading, as well as the Mystical Moments Tarot, because you get so just the colors and the elements on the cards. You can get drawn to different things, to color, to how the shapes are, there's all this like fire and lemon, and depending on the day, your intuition can be sparked by different elements. And I think this is a really fun deck, and it took me a while to start using it. Actually, I had it for a while and it was just, I don't know, I always liked it, but I never kind of felt drawn to it, and I think it's really great. So that's number 4. And another deck that I also used quite a lot this year, and in general I think it's amazing and I love the artwork, is the Voodoo Tarot. So I just love those sepia colors, and I don't know, the book is really great. I had good experiences with this deck. It's beautiful. I love the artwork, and it has also plant use in it, and just the theme of the deck, the voodoo and New Orleans kind of voodoo tradition. I really love it. So it's beautiful, and I think the artwork is just amazing. So I think this deck, I would love to have it on me at all times. Really brilliant reader. So that's number 5. Number 6, I'm thinking, oh, this one as well. I used it quite a lot actually this year, and I love it. That's the Mystical, not Moments, Mystical Dreamer Tarot. Yes, that's the name of this deck. I think so, Mystical Dreamer Tarot. And it's such a dream deck. I love this deck for intuitive readings, for dream analysis, for creative questions. It's so symbolic. It's totally kind of, in some way you would say, changes the archetypes of the tarot, takes it on to another level, like it's a total different journey. I like using it as an oracle at times as well. Mystical Dreamer Tarot, really great. And if I didn't say the name right, I will check it and add it. So that's number 6. So another one is the Mother Peace Tarot. I think for a mass-produced deck, I would love to always have this deck on me. And so it's on the feminine side, of course, everybody knows about this deck. It's one of those old decks that were created, you know, in another world, we can kind of say, but it's still, for me, it's evocative, it's amazing, great for intuitive readings as well, but the books are cool. I just love interpretation of some of the tarot cards. They're beautiful. So this Mother Peace Tarot, I know there was a lot of discussions about High Priestess there and so on, but I still love this deck and I wouldn't want to be without it. So that's number 6. 7. Well, I will have one more. So there will be a special mention, okay? So another one is this Intuitive Goddess Tarot, and I actually forgot about it for a while, but I think this deck is just so beautiful. So it has all these femme imaginings and a lot of plants and flowers in it. And I remember I bought it because of these plants and flowers, but actually when it arrived, I think I fell in love with the imagery. I actually haven't used it for a while, to be honest. I just, look at this. Jupiter on the card, Jupiter on my nail. It's so cool. So yeah, the Wayfarer. I love how Lindsay, they interpreted the tarot archetype. There's like different names for the court cards and so on. It's beautiful, beautiful artwork. So as a mass-published deck, I think this is job really well done. So the Intuitive Goddess Tarot, really great. And then we have number 9, and I think Tarot of the Spirit with the book. I don't know if it's still available mass-produced, but I think this definitely was, because it's by US Games. I have actually edged mine and then added like the little black border onto the card as well, because I think it like leaked, so I kind of made it a little bit wider, and I actually quite like it. So my one, as you see, is like a little bit, you know, changed, but some of the beautiful cards of images of this deck, and the book is really incredible. My friend Melanie, she thinks this is one of her favorite books on tarot in general. So some of the court cards in this deck I love so much. I think the court cards are reimagined really beautifully. So Tarot of the Spirit, it's number 9. And then number 10, okay, I'm going to go with Emily Carding. So it's going to be a double shout out. So transparent tarot, which you can, you know, transparent cards that you can create like extra images with when you put them on top of one another, or create interesting stories when they connected together. And also her tarot of the She, which I also trimmed a little bit. Now I probably wouldn't, but I did trim it because it's one of the old decks. I also edged it, and I love this deck. I think this is a really great reader, and maybe not necessary for like I'm crazy about the artwork, but somehow it works. It's also very symbolic. I love how she renamed the cards, and the whole story that she put into the book. I have an interview with Emily Carding, so if you want to find out more about the creation of both of these decks, I keep asking her those questions, so please check it out. I might link it below or above in the card, or if I forget, please help yourself to my channel. You just put search and you put Emily Carding. So the extra mention, the 11th deck, in general, any decks by Kim Krantz, and I will have her decks in Oracle section, but even the little reimagining, I have the first edition as well, but Wild Unknown is just still one of those decks. It doesn't get old, right? It's already has been on for a couple of good years, and it's just keeps giving. I love this deck. It's still great. So the pocket edition of the Wild Unknown and any of the Wild Unknowns actually that we have are amazing. All right, so let me just move on to Oracle decks. Okay, let's go with 10 Oracle decks, mass-produced Oracle decks that, you know, I couldn't live without. Okay, I have to maybe share 3 of my favorite decks also in probably 2022, but right now they like rocking my world. I think this is one of my favorite oracles ever. So the Herbal Astrology Oracle, I don't have it for that long because it came out not that long ago. It's by Adriana Ayales. I'm actually studying with her right now also. And oh, this is just the artwork. The artwork is done by Josephine Clerks. It's incredible in my opinion, because it's just so intuitive, so amazing. And again, you can, you know, there's like tarot associations coming in. You have the plant, you have the planet, you have the crystal, you have the images about the body. It's also empowered and it's beautiful. I love the coloring of it. I love the artwork. I love the just beauty of it. I love that it has astrology and it has plants. All of my favorite, you know, things. It has animals. It's like amazing. So this deck, I'm so glad that this came out actually, like not as indie deck. It's 55 cards as well, and it's available to anybody if you guys, you know, want to get it. Another one for this year was also the Soulflower Oracle, and I have also essences, 20 essences or 18 essences for some of these cards. I love these cards, especially after I have an interview with Lisa as well. You can take a look at it. I also link it in the card here. And the Soulflowers and how she created the artwork and who she is as a person, I think that carries also that energy throughout. So this is amazing deck, also easy to get. All the big eyes. So I'm just showing you the vampires, but all the big eyes oracle. My favorite is the Fairy Tale Oracle, but I love the vampires as well. I love the images of it. The booklet is cool, but definitely the Fairy Tale is my favorite oracle out of these, even though this one is the like second spot for sure. And I love the Alice one, of course, as well. And the Mermaids is quite good. Actually, it's quite spooky, spot on. So all the big eyes oracles, definite spot in my heart. Okay, so let's go next. I think for the soul cards, 20 years or more on the market, I just love this deck. So I think what Deborah Koff-Chapin did with this particular deck, I also have her Portals of Presence, but I think that's different altogether level. Portals of Presence were cool, but I don't know, it's just not, I'm not drawn to use them, but these ones are still amazing, perfect for creative dialogue, for talking to clients with these cards, people like, you know, getting their first impressions, everybody different. It's really great for intuitive workshops, for intuitive readings, for practicing, working with your intuition. Really, really great. Well, I think I couldn't go off without the Mother Mary Oracle. It's beautiful, it's so soulful. Parts of the books are really good as well. If you just want to, you know, really think about it. I like some of the prayers that Alana Fairchild used. And yeah, it just still smells like roses. So I used to work a lot with this deck during Walking with Mary, and in general it was one of these decks that I could easily access even before, I think, the first Walking with Mary with Hetien. I didn't still have the Mary deck. It hasn't arrived yet from her, like it was in 2018 or so, and this was my first kind of Mary deck that I had. So definitely soft spot for it. Another one is this one. Like, I don't see much talk about it, but the Wisdom Keepers deck is just, it's so beautiful. There used to be this black and white version, but I have here the color version, and I think this is so cool. This is with the Gene Keys, yes, Gene Keys. So you have Gene Keys mixed into this one. You pull one card, you always have a partner to that card. The book is really great. It's by Rosie Aronson. I actually would love to get her on an interview and talk about this, because this is such a cool idea. You always get a lot of different symbols on the faces themselves. There's faces from all over the place. Some of them are recognizable, you know, like John Lennon, or I don't know, there's a couple of different actors and stuff, but otherwise I don't recognize too many. So they kind of like the general archetypes. The book is so good. It gives you story, it gives you questions, it gives you divination. It's a great deck. And, you know, when you pull, for example, this is, I work with this deck, sometimes I just pull, you know, so I pulled this card for my Where's the Fool heading in 2023 reading, which I'm doing right now, guys. So if you wanna, the new year kind of, you know, bit of astrology cycles and bit of cards with Tarot de Marseille and other decks, Where's the Fool reading is available till end of February. But yeah, I pulled this for myself, so I pulled Graciousness. I just love this image. And this is the partner for Graciousness, and that's Transmutation. And I love that kind of phoenix-like flowers and the crosses, you know, it's just an interesting take. So we have these things, they're beautiful. Okay, all right, these two, Anything by Kim Krans, I think it's great. So the Wild Unknown Archetypes, which is the round deck, or her new Alchemy deck, which is like the, what is it, hexagon. It's so cool. Both of these decks are deep. You can go like really into them. So they're really, really amazing. And that would be like nearly the end. I have 2 more to go. So the 10th one would be the Moon Oracle. Okay, I'm surprised, but I think this deck is really great. So I have a video explaining how to use this deck, so you can check it out, or I link it maybe. But you pull like a moon phase, depending on what phase the moon is in. You pull a goddess that's connected to the phase, and you pull a decan or a degree that the moon is in, and you get associations with the planets. You get all this different information in the quite a large book. And actually, if you want to work with the moon phases, if you want to learn a little bit about the moon phases, I think this deck, as an astrologer, I think this deck is good. You just have to put in a little bit of work and remember to, you know, check the moon phase and then go with the with the energies of the deck. So then, oh no, that wasn't number 10. This is 10. Do you remember this deck, the Winged Enchantment Oracle deck? It came out in 2015 by US Games. Artwork was by Lisa Hunt. I'm not sure if it's still available, but maybe it is. I remember laughing, but like with hard laugh, like good laugh, with the book, because I'm just going to pull one card. The images are beautiful. The cards are quite large. It's an oracle deck. Okay, so we have Rooster, right? The images are beautiful, as I mentioned. And so what I was laughing at was those little kind of first-person poems, or like incantations even, we can say. So Rooster says, I am Rooster. Actually, it's not even this, but the whole thing is, I am Rooster, the rising sun and the break of the day. I am vitality, I am sexuality, I am eternal matrix of fertility. I am the time to act and the need to use force in creation. I am fire and momentum. While the feminine nurtures all things created, I am the force that shapes the created. So the rooster is like, go for it. And at the end, it just says this little thing, you are eternal potency, you are conception, you are dawn's triumphant herald, you are Rooster. It's always made me laugh. You are Rooster. So this deck is beautiful. I think the little booklet is very cool. It's a little bit different idea for an oracle deck. It's quite embodied with this, first person. The artwork is stunning, and I love Lisa Hunt's art when it's on the big format, because on normal tarot deck, like her Fairy Tale Tarot, it's just so small, like you barely can sometimes make out what's going on the card. It's a bit annoying. I wish the Fairy Tale Tarot was on the bigger format because of this. But yeah, this one is pretty cool, the Winged Enchantment. So if it's still available, I think one of those, if you like birds, and yeah, it's just for the little booklet, and it's pretty cool. And I used to use this deck and it was quite spot on as well. And then this one came out, I think this is the indie edition, but I'm pretty sure this is now mass-produced. And I actually really like this deck by Kara Simmons and Amy Putnik-König. This deck is pretty cool. The booklet is cool. It's got nice questions and gives you like an interesting take on things. So is my pursuit both honorable and focused, says Mountain Lion, and the keyword is stock. And then you get the description in the book that is really interesting. It's color coordinated. So you have quite a few different things. This is the indie edition. I'm not sure if the mass produced is also that nicely gilded, but the Prairie Majesty Oracle, it's a really cool deck, and it's nice to mix with different readings and cards. So what I wanted to share with you as a bonus is this Triple Goddess Tarot, which actually is an oracle card. It's by Isha Lerner. It comes in this big, big box. The book looks like this, and it has just major arcana plus couple of different additional archetypes, and they all renamed and looking a little bit different. So this was, for example, the fall, flying into spring. What else do we have? Strength is actually strength. So Path of Balance is the Emperor, so that's interesting. Ancestors is the Hermit. So I really think this is like beautiful. Blossoming Spirit is the Hierophant, and so on. And it also comes with the chakra cards, so all seven chakras. And I just put it together with the Yin Oracle, which is not mass produced, but will be coming up next year. And I put it into Crystal Haven's bag with Mary. It's so cute. So Triple Goddess Tarot is this deck that I also think, even though it's called tarot, as an oracle deck, it's really great. Okay guys, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I see you soon. Bye.